Hello everyone and welcome back to Game 3 of this series between CheckPrime, not Baboon, CheckPrime, and Capoch on Scrap Station. This is Mac, and once again I want to thank those sponsors, iFixit, SCVs, For the Real World, Esports United, and The Handsome Nerd. This is once again a best of 3. Only one of these players can advance to the actual tournament, and the winner gets a fancy t-shirt. So a lot is at stake in this game, and both players really looking to pull a win. Of course, this being CheckPrime's map choice. We're here on Scrap Station, one of the Zerg's favorite matchups. Of course, this is a great map for 4 gates, so many great places for pylons. That makes it a popular map for Protoss too, I suppose, but ultimately this is a Zerg map. So it's really going to be on Capoch's onus here to make this match count. He's got a lot of work to do and a lot of Zerglings to kill, so we'll see how he does. Getting that early scout in right away. We'll see this Overlord, an interesting pathway. I'm not really sure why he took this pathway. It is very interesting regardless, but he's heading somewhere over here. Did stop here for a while, probably just checking for quick proxies. And this probe is in, the probe who's going to lay down those supposed proxies. And looking for a spawning pool, sees no spawning pool. Baboon Prime going for the fast extractor, followed by a spawning pool. There it is, and then a later expansion. So pretty prudent. Get the speedlings first, then get your expansion. And this probe, trying to be a hero, figures he'll try and kill a drone or two. Highly unlikely, but hey, never hurts to try when you're just building probes at home anyways. And that drone does switch to a different mineral node, trying to taunt this probe into standing right here, where you can be picked apart very quickly. And the extractor is finally up. Meanwhile, in the Protoss base, we do have standard play, gateway, extractor, pylon. Gonna see a cyber core right away, almost certainly. No 2-gate opening from Capoch, as we have seen the previous 2 games. This just isn't the map for it unless you're gonna proxy. So probably gonna see a 4-gate or a fast expansion to match his Zerg opponent. We have had 2 short games, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a long one, as always. This is a map that doesn't favor really short play. It does favor long play. And more importantly, both players don't want to lose this game, so they're going to play very conservatively, which almost always means expanding, playing defensively, and not trying to do anything fancy. We are getting the second gateway at a very standard time, and I think that is actually a complete wall off, but don't quote me on that. There might be a little spot here. There is. The Zealot is happy to block it, and a probe is happy to camp here in an excellent proxy pylon position. 4 lings now checking for proxy pylons and for probes. And meanwhile, back in the base, no more, only one rather drone on the extractor and piling in those minerals to get that expansion. So probably going to be seeing a drone go right now. There it is. That is the expansion drone, and these lings happy to have found that probe, kill it off. Probably no more proxy pylons. Check and expand quite comfortably, and expand the creep. Already at first, creep tumor is down. 2 zealots are pressing out a little bit risky there, especially if Check decides to pump Zerglings early on for defense. He probably won't do that, but nonetheless a bit of a gamble. There are the 4 lings, nowhere near enough to engage these zealots. They are forced to retreat. We do have a follow-up zealot, so we are seeing a variant of the 2-gate push. This warp gate is almost done, a 3rd gate on the way, no 4th gate, so Capoch probably going to be playing an expansion strategy or going for another tech. Well, we'll see what he does with that. These zealots are going to opt to stay here at the Zelnega Watchtower. Really no other way for lings to get at the base. They want to go all the way around, and I'd imagine that CheckPrime not interested in early aggression. He wants to hold that expansion, and now that he has those speedlings, he's happy to run through. He's looking for that proxy. He sees the probe. He really wants to kill that probe and deny any proxies. Does get it. Loses 2 Zerglings. That's a good trade, though. A worker for lings. Lots of lings coming out, and there is that hidden pylon. The Zerglings really want to find this, and warping in zealots would be a great way of giving away the location. But a nice creep spread, a spine crawler already down. That's the great thing about this map. You laid on a bunch of crawlers right here, and you just can't touch either of the expansions short of breaking down these rocks. The lings just intercepting every single probe, denying every opportunity of Capoch to get that expansion. Such beautiful play by Check here. But I don't think he's aware of this pylon, and his lings are in a position. They are going to catch a sentry. Finally, they go, oh, there's the pylon. And it's too late. The forces are in the way. He will kill this, and that will slow down the reinforcement. But here is the engagement. They catch the spine crawler as it's uprooted, and Check is going to lose this. Doesn't even get a single poke from his crawler. He does catch the sentry, but the force field blocks it, and Capoch is now inside the Zerg base. Finds some roaches, but he does have those stalkers. It's now desperate attempt to kill roaches, but there's the Lings catching the Zealots in. No retreat for the Protoss force. They're going to fight for the last man. Stalkers have a chance of getting away, but they are gone. The Zealots hold the line as Zealots should. Clutch transfuse, keeping those roaches alive, and the proxy is now way back here. Beautifully done by Czech. Huge worker discrepancy, as you would expect to see. The Zerg player forced to build a ton of military units. You'll see he's got a pretty sizable army of 11 roaches, 4 Lings. So once again, forced to that early roach push. And if Capoch can hold out long enough, his opponent will just simply run out of resources. However, he does have 2 hatcheries, has that expansion. Will be much easier for him to drone up while he applies pressure. Nonetheless, now operating off of 4 gateways. Is it 4 gateways? It is 4 gateways. Capoch is pressing back, has enough stalkers, has a sentry, will be able to put some serious pressure on. Does he have a probe on the way for a new proxy? It looks like not. However, we are getting a new spine crawler, lots of roaches, several Lings. Are they going to take the spine crawler? Looks like not. Happy to kill some Lings though in the retreat. Those are some freebies. You can't give those away. And because there's no proxy, I think Capoch just can't put the pressure on. He is expanding. That's a prudent decision. And we will be seeing a longer game. He is content, however, to harass. He has those shields, and Lings are just so easy to snipe in this kind of exchange. And you'll see CheckPrime is preferring to have the Spine Crawler take the hits in this exchange. That's prudent. Spine Crawlers really hit hard. 30 damage against a Stalker. Ouch, that hurts. And a few damage. Trivial. Czech looks like he's just droning. No, he is producing Lings, so he's expecting more 4-gate pressure and floating an Overload over just to see. Will catch that robotics facility transition and probably will assume a Nexus is down, though he hasn't scouted it. Still only the 1 crawler, still, well, finally it is. There he is. He is now droning up as he should and going for a push. You're trying to catch nice clutch sentries, but the Lings are going to catch this force. The Protoss force, once again, going to be cut down, trying to retreat, but it is large enough this time. It's taking a lot of Lings with him. Nonetheless, great play by Czech. Completely tears apart this force, and these Lings are fast enough. The Stalker is going to go down, so 1 Stalker does get 1 Ling kill, 2 Ling kills. Yep, 3 Ling kills. Good for him. Well done. Now if he dies, he can at least say he killed as many Lings as he's worth. And once again, the proxy pylon of Capoch is destroyed. He is back to square one, but at least he has an expansion. Armies fairly even. The Protoss force is fairly strong at home. The roaches are aggressively pressing in. It could be pretty close. We'll see how this goes. Reinforcements are streaming in. Lots of Lings still coming. But he is content to fall back. Income-wise, still a 9 probe lead for the Protoss, and having that expansion means he is winning on the income. He does have the robotics facility. Looks like no robotics bay, however. And lair tech going down for CheckPrime. So prudent. He is not overextending himself. He's just trying to do as much damage as he can. He is falling back, content to take those Zealots with him. And units lost fairly heavily in the Zerg's favor. He's playing very well. His micro is fantastic. Such good control of his units. And he's able to continue to apply pressure while droning up. You'll see he still has drones on both of his bases. Some fairly nice saturation, though not quite as much gas as he would like to see. He is transitioning into Roach Hydra, what we'd expect at this point in the game. However, the Colossus do counter that quite nicely. And Capoch forced to use proxy pylons up here on the cliff because CheckPrime has been so aggressive here in the early game, denying every single proxy pylon Capoch can throw down, and continuing to run around with these Lings just all over the place, seeing anything that goes up. However, Capoch has successfully secured up to here at least, same as the Zerg player. As far as map control is concerned, Czech definitely has about 20 feet here, Spine Crawler here, and the Ling advantage. So map control to the Zerg player, he is able to sit back and drone. However, there is that robotics bay that we were expecting to see. Colossus are on the way, and an Overseer has come to be a nuisance. That creep highway, however, looks like it's stopped, so there must have been a killed creep tumor in that exchange. So the creep is no longer being pushed for our Zerg player, and this Overseer getting a good look around. Unfortunately, he is cut down. I don't see any goop anywhere, so he was just scouting. He saw the critical tech, I believe, robotics bay. Let's take a look at that. He did spot the robotics bay, and Ling tries to get in, doesn't go anywhere. That might have been an Overseer changeling, hard to tell. And these roving Lings continue to run around, see if they can see anything else. They're just going to run into an army here. Several Lings going down. 2, it looks like. Meanwhile, Capoch now has an observer in the base while he gets those Colossus upgrades. So we are going to see a late game Zerg versus Protoss match. And not many forces here from the Zerg player. He has sort of backed off. Czech is primarily droning as he should. Now a nice healthy 8. Now it's a less than that. Now it's a 7. 7 drone lead. He does have the tech he needs for his roaches and his hydras. No evolution chambers. I find that a little bit surprising, but he's probably not planning to stick with roach hydra for an extended period of time. Nice healthy army lead. See, the reason for that is that most of the spending, big advantage in the army spending rather. Zerg player was operating on a smaller economy for longer because he was forced to produce military units, but he's now catching up and will be able to start matching his opponent. Will want to grab a third base. I imagine that's where this drone is going. Gonna go grab this third base. The creep is almost there. And Capoch is just biding his time, staying safe and secure, has a second robotics facility. He almost has that tech complete, so he'll be able to pump a lot of Colossus, force that Zerg player to get some air, which Stalkers are happy to shoot at. Looks like I was mistaken about, I'm not mistaken, that drone is either scouting or going to grab the gold. So Czech is going straight for the good stuff. And yeah, it is almost certainly a hatchery. And at the same time, I don't know if Capoch was planning to build one. He was a proxy pylon. He was planning to take this position. But the Lings, once again, just roving around here in the neutral zone and easily able to deny that. However, this expansion was spotted and Capoch is happy to press out. He has this Colossus. No upgrades, however, a little bit surprised by that. And no upgrades, of course, no evolution chamber for the Zerg player. Already getting that Spire. I imagine this went up before he saw the Colossus, because he definitely saw the tech coming. But Capoch is in a good spot. He has a very strong army, considerably larger than the Zergs. The Lings suiciding into Colossus. And I guess he has to wait, hope Capoch makes a blunder, puts himself in a bad position, but these Colossus can really abuse this cliff, fire down from above. They have the range, so a really, really uncomfortable position. The Lings are in reserve to attack the back, but using their range, the Colossus easily able to take on these spine crawlers. Things looking actually quite grim for Czech. He is producing roaches as fast as he can. The Spire is not done. He cannot build Corruptors, and he doesn't have the resources. Both players, similar resources. That is just that advantage of the Zerg player not building drones early on. There is the engagement. Colossus are in the front. One goes down to focus fire. The force fields blocking out the Hydras, trapping the roaches, and the roaches are just going to go down. Zealots didn't get to engage, unfortunately, but it's okay. The Colossus still standing, and the follow-up attack will be devastating. The army of the Zerg player almost completely annihilated, but he does have these Corruptors on the way. He might be able to bring down these Colossus. If he does that, there is a hope, but things not looking good all the same. This Queen's going to go down pretty fast. The Colossus chasing. Capoch being very cautious. There is this expansion. It's not doing anything, however, because of this attack. And content to take down these rocks, make the attack easier. There's those Corruptors. One Roach. He is giving his opponent time to rebuild, but he has 3 Colossus now at the front. The Corruptors are firing on the Colossus, but a lot of them going down. 2 Stalker fire again. Nice force fields delaying the attack. And these 3 Colossus just wrecking so much havoc. This one that's going down has 12 kills. This one has 3. This one has 11. The Corruptors are forced to retreat because the ground forces are dead. Very few Zealots, but a proxy pylon did go up. Lots of Stalkers, Sentries, Colossus. Ooh, my voice is drying out. And there it is. GGA almost made it without coughing. CheckPrime is eliminated from a Colossus push by Capoch. Capoch is advancing to the final tournament. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Tune in for the rest of these games, and until next time, have a good one.